Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's a great honor to welcome His Excellency丁薛祥, member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Chinese Communist Party and Vice Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, for the first time to the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. Your presence here today underscores the importance of China's global engagement and the critical role China plays in shaping our shared future at such an important and critical moment. Your Excellency, China has emerged over the last decades as a key player in addressing global challenges, and its contributions to global economic growth and development are undeniable. China's commitment to sustainable development and its ambitious goals for a green economy are impressive. Your multiple initiatives have the potential to improve global trade and infrastructure, connect continents further, and foster economic growth, especially for the global South. Vice Premier Ding, you have been a pivotal figure in China's political landscape, known for your strategic vision and dedication to advancing China's modernization. With a career spanning several decades, you have played a crucial role in shaping policies that drive economic reform, technological innovations, and sustainable development. Your leadership in various capacities, including as Director of the CCP General Office, has been instrumental in fostering international cooperation and addressing global challenges. We are honored to have you with us and to share your insights on building a more, I should say, interconnected and resilient world. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency Vice Premier Ding to the stage.
Professor Klaus Schwab, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. It gives me great pleasure to come to beautiful Davos for the World Economic Forum annual meeting. This is an important platform for discussing global economic issues and a vanguard for promoting international exchanges and cooperation. This small town is attractive not only for its picturesque landscape, but also for inspiring new ideas and facilitating common progress. 8 years ago, it was here in Davos that Chinese President Xi Jinping delivered the important speech in which he pondered the question of our times, what has gone wrong with the world, and what should we do about it, and sent a resounding message that China will support economic globalization, uphold and practice multilateralism, and join the effort to make the world a better place. This speech, as Professor Schwab concluded, brought us some sunshine. Upon deep reflection, President Xi pointed out that any attempt to channel the waters in the ocean back into isolated lakes and creeks is simply not possible, and that Pursuing protectionism is like locking oneself in a dark room. While wind and rain may be kept outside, the dark room will also block light and air. At that time, I had the privilege of listening to that speech in the audience, and Professor Schwab, this is my second time here, not the first time. And it is still fresh in my memory. Since then, President Xi had offered clear answers twice at the World Economic Forum to the questions of how to improve global governance and how to build a community with a shared future for mankind, which provided important guidance to the international community. As we meet, transformation not seen in a century is accelerating across the board. With imminent tariff wars and trade wars, an ongoing tug-of-war between the forces for and against economic globalization, and intense rivalry between multilateralism and unilateralism, the global governance system is undergoing profound adjustments. Human society has once again come to a critical crossroads, hoping that the sun will break through clouds and mists to light up the way forward. It is time to recall President Xi's important speech, and we should firm up confidence, uphold solidarity and cooperation, and forge ahead, hand in hand, despite high winds and choppy waters, to build a community with a shared future for mankind. We should provide more stability and certainty for the world and build a just world of common development. Here, I wish to share a few observations. First, we need to jointly promote a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. Economic globalization is an inherent requirement for the development of productive forces and an inevitable result of technological advancement. Indeed, it is an overwhelming trend of history. Over the years, despite some setbacks and headwinds, economic globalization has demonstrated strong resilience and dynamism. According to WTO statistics, the total volume of global trade has grown by an average of 5.8% per year since 1995, and reached $30.4 trillion in 2023. Between 1995 and 2022, the share of middle and low-income countries in global export rose from 16% to 32%, and developed countries did not lose out from this. Their growth rates and the well-being of their peoples have also been effectively boosted. Economic globalization is not a you lose, I win, zero-sum game, but a universally beneficial process where all can benefit and win together. Admittedly, economic globalization will bring some tensions and disagreements on distribution. These issues can only be resolved in the process of promoting economic globalization. Protectionism leads nowhere. Trade war has no winners. We should seize all opportunities to steer economic globalization in the right direction, tackle the common challenges with universal benefit, and pull strengths with inclusive cooperation, so as to usher in a new phase of economic globalization that is more dynamic, more inclusive, and more sustainable. I believe we have the wisdom and capability needed to find a win-win and all-win solution, one that is based on mutually beneficial cooperation and through communication and coordination. We should not only make the pie of economic globalization bigger, but also distribute it better. Second, we need to jointly uphold and practice true multilateralism. Multilateralism is the right way to maintain world peace and promote human progress. It is the golden key to solving the difficulties and challenges facing the world. International affairs should be decided by all through discussion, and the future of the world should be determined by all countries together. This is a consensus shared by the international community. We must hold high the banner of multilateralism, pursue the vision of global governance featuring extensive consultation and joint contribution for shared benefit, and ensure equal rights, equal opportunities, and equal rules for all countries in international affairs. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the founding of the UN. We should seize the opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to the purposes and principles of the UN Charter, firmly uphold the UN-centered international system and the international order based on international law, and make global governance more just and equitable. We should firmly uphold the multilateral trading system with WTO at its core, uphold its role as the main channel for rules-making on international trade, and foster an open, inclusive, and non-discriminatory environment for international economic cooperation. Third, we need to jointly foster new drivers and strengths for global economic development. The theme of this year's annual meeting, Collaboration for the Intelligent Age, is highly relevant. In today's world, the new round of technological revolution and industrial transformation is deepening. Cutting-edge technologies such as AI, quantum computing, quantum technology, and biomedicine are flourishing, and digital, green, and intelligent development is picking up pace. We should seize and make the most of these opportunities to enhance connectivity in the digital age, promote international cooperation on sci-tech innovation, help countries strengthen emerging and future industries, and accelerate the cultivation and development of new quality productive forces. In recent years, the North-South divide has become more pronounced, and the gaps in technology, digital access, and AI are still widening. We should uphold the principle of harnessing sci-tech achievements for the benefit of all humanity. We should help developing countries build AI, intelligent transportation, smart energy, and other new infrastructure, and promote the application of information technology in key livelihood sectors so that more countries can get on board the fast train of digital economic development. Fourth, we need to jointly tackle major global challenges. Currently, the world is going through transformation and turbulence, and challenges such as climate change, food security, and energy security keep cropping up. Only by strengthening global solidarity and pooling global efforts can we overcome the challenges and build a better future together. President Xi proposed the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and Global Civilization Initiative, offering important public goods to the world. We should work together to advance these three global initiatives to generate enduring impetus for development, pass on the torch of peace to future generations, and illuminate the splendor of civilizations, thereby gathering formidable strength to overcome difficulties and challenges. Green transition is a prevailing trend of global development and the fundamental solution to climate change. The international community should work together to accelerate the energy transition in an equitable, orderly, and just manner, keep the new energy industrial chain stable, and promote green products and technologies. We must follow a consistent approach in addressing climate change and improve the consistency of environmental and climate policies and economic and trade policies, so as to prevent economic and trade frictions from impeding the process of green transition and avoid erecting green barriers that could disrupt normal economic and trade cooperation. Security and development complement and reinforce each other. At present, some international hotspot issues and conflicts are dragging on and having a serious impact on global peace and stability. We should promote security and peace through cooperation and resolve disputes and differences through dialogue. It is essential that we follow a new path to security that chooses dialogue and partnership over confrontation and alliance. We should support the UN and its Security Council in playing a bigger role and support all efforts conducive to the peaceful settlement of crises.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, China is a key engine for global economic development. Whenever world economic issues are discussed at Davos, a lot of attention would be on China. Here, taking this opportunity, I'd like to share with you some of the major trends that characterize the Chinese economy. The first major trend is that high-quality development is making solid progress. This is a big highlight of the Chinese economy. Over the past year, the Chinese economy made steady progress while maintaining overall stability. China's GDP grew by 5%, one of the fastest among major economies. In response to the headwinds and the challenges confronting China's economy, we stepped up countercyclical measures and, in particular, intensified efforts to introduce a package of incremental policies that effectively boosted the real estate and stock markets, improved market expectations, and restored public confidence. As a result, the economy has rebounded and turned for the better. The headwinds encountered by the economy of China are due to both the external environment and temporary pains brought by our own economic restructuring. We have persistently promoted high-quality development. New business sectors, forms, and models have kept emerging. This has played an important role in overcoming economic difficulties. During my inspection tours to different parts of China last year, I saw the evident progress in the transition from traditional growth drivers to new ones. I saw emerging and future industries booming and new quality productive forces taking shape at a faster pace. All the business I visited, from private companies to foreign invested ones, and from traditional manufacturing to digital firms, have great confidence in future development. This year, China will further intensify macro policies and adopt a more proactive fiscal policy and an appropriately accommodative monetary policy. Will vigorously boost consumption, improve investment performance, facilitate the integrated development of sci-tech innovation and industrial innovation, promote the sound and stable development of the capital market, stabilize the real estate market, and effectively prevent and diffuse local government debt risks so as to effectively pursue higher quality economic growth and appropriately increase economic output. China's stable and sound economic development will inject strong and sustained impetus to global economic development. The second major trend is that green and low-carbon transition is accelerating across the board. This is a salient feature of the Chinese economy. China is taking concrete actions to peak carbon dioxide emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. Since 2012, China's energy consumption per unit of GDP and carbon emission intensity have dropped by more than 26% and 35% respectively, and China's renewable energy now accounts for over 35% of its total power generation. China has built the world's largest and most complete new energy industrial chain. 70% of the photovoltaic components and 60% of wind power equipment worldwide come from China. This high-quality production capacity had served as a strong boost to global green development and climate response. China's circular economy enjoys a robust momentum of development. For example, empowered by new material technology, a Chinese enterprise produces one T-shirt with polyester yarn extracted from 8 plastic bottles and makes one hard shell jacket with 28 plastic bottles. This way, it consumes more than 30 billion plastic bottles every year, which has both ecological and economic benefits. China's pursuit of green transition is a long-term commitment rather than an act of expediency. No matter how the international landscape may evolve, China's determination and action for proactive climate response will not change. We will make tireless efforts to reduce carbon emissions and mitigate pollution while expanding green transition and promoting economic growth. Accelerate the comprehensive transition to green economic and social development. Observe the goals and principles of the UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement, and make greater contributions to global climate response. The third major trend is that reform and opening up is moving up toward a higher level. This is the source of vitality of the Chinese economy. It is through reform and opening up that China caught up with the times in big strides over the past decades. And in order to break new ground in China's modernization drive, we still count on reform and opening up. In July last year, the Communist Party of China, the CPC, held the third plenary session of its 20th Central Committee, laying out systematic plans for further deepening reform comprehensively to advance Chinese modernization. More than 300 important reform measures were introduced at the meeting, and these reform tasks shall be completed by 2029, the year marking the 80th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. We'll build a high-standard socialist market economy, foster a fairer and more dynamic market environment, and make resource allocation as efficient and productive as possible. Openness is the hallmark of Chinese modernization. In terms of the access for foreign investment, we set up the China-Shanghai Pilot Free Trade Zone in 2013 and issued the first negative list for foreign investment. There were 190 items on the list at that time, but now the number has been reduced to 27. Last year, China lifted all restrictions on foreign investment in manufacturing and established a negative list system for cross-border trading services. And we have been taking systematic steps to further open important sectors like telecom, the internet, education, culture, and medical services. In terms of foreign trade, we don't seek trade surplus. We want to import more competitive quality products and services to promote balanced trade. China's overall tariff level has been cut to 7.3%, a fairly low level in the world. And we give all least developed countries having diplomatic relations with China zero tariff treatment for 100% tariff lines. We have taken the initiative to expand imports and held the China International Import Expo for 7 years in a row. China has been the world's second largest importer for many years now. In terms of business environment, we know issues like China's IPR protection, equal participation in government procurement, cross-border data flow, access to factors of production, qualification approval, and standard setting are of great interest to multinationals. In these areas, we are continuously improving relevant institutions and policies. These issues are important to both domestic and foreign invested enterprises, and our attitude has been clear, that is, to provide equal and fair treatment for all of them. Take government procurement, for example. According to relevant laws and regulations, all products made in China, whether their suppliers are domestic or foreign invested enterprises, enjoy the right of equal participation in government procurement. I know in reality, there might be cases where invisible barriers and hidden hurdles stand in the way of both foreign invested enterprises and domestic ones. On the part of the Chinese government, we sincerely hope to work out these problems with all of you. China's door of opening up will not be closed and will open even wider, and our business environment will only get better. We sincerely welcome more foreign enterprises to invest and do business in China and achieve greater success in sharing China's opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, China's Spring Festival is just around the corner. As the new year begins, everything takes on a new look. Let's start again from Davos. Uphold the right path of multilateralism, promote open and inclusive development, and jointly usher in a better future. To conclude, I wish the annual meeting a full success. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Premier Ding, for having given us a very deep and comprehensive insight into Chinese policies and the status of the China economy. Let me follow up with one or two questions. First, we are now in a kind of reshaping of the global order. And my question would be, how does China actually view its role in shaping the global order among the rising tensions which we have? And what would be actually the consequences, Vice Premier, of a world falling apart into two different systems, short-term and long-term? And what should be done to avoid such a scenario?
Professor Schwab, your question reflects the international community's interest in China's role and also a concern shared by the international community about the international landscape. The worry that the world may split into two separate systems. On China's role in the international order, as a Chinese saying goes, what a person says and does tell you what that person is. Just look at what Chinese leaders and Chinese people have said, and look at what the Chinese people have done. After that, I think any upright person would come to the conclusion that China is a responsible major country and a firm defender and builder of the international order. First, in recent years, President Xi Jinping has shared his views multiple times on the international order. One of that is the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind. And also he put forth the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative. These ideas and initiatives have contributed to narrowing down division, reducing the risk of confrontation. At the same time, China has always been a staunch exerciser of peaceful development. In international affairs, we always champion dialogue and partnership rather than confrontation and alliance. It is fair to say that with respect to peace and security, China has the best track record among the world's major countries. Third, China has been a staunch supporter of true multilateralism. We firmly uphold the international system with the UN at its core and the international order based on international law. The Chinese people always honor our commitments. Our deeds always match our words. That's for the first question. And you touch upon the possible consequences if the world splits into different systems and how to do about it. I think if that is the case, the consequences would be unimaginable. If the world becomes divided, it would be very difficult for humanity to address common challenges together. And in a even worse case, we may also relapse into confrontation. That would be a situation where no country can stay unaffected. President Xi once said that all countries in the world are like passengers in the same big ship. We share the same future and need to act with stronger global solidarity to narrow down division and avoid unimaginable consequences. We should work together to bring to life the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind, firmly oppose zero-sum and Cold War mentalities, make the international order more just and equitable. At the same time, in this process, I think the role of major countries is very important. The major countries must lead by example and act in a way befitting their stature. It is an aspiration shared by the 1.4 billion Chinese people that the world can be tranquil and peaceful and achieve common development. We are working tirelessly toward this end and hope the rest of the world will join us. That concludes my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Premier Ding. In the context of the question I just asked also, we know that the intelligent age is characterized by fierce competition in the new technologies such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Now, those technologies significantly transform industries and societies, but they also enhance national power. Now, what will China do to avoid that those technologies become a divisive factor and contribute really to the progress positively of all humanity?
Thank you, Professor Schwab. That's a very good question. I fully agree with your opinion. Artificial intelligence and quantum technology and other new and emerging technologies are perhaps not progressive development, but disruptive transformation. On China's science and technology, over the years, China has registered economic growth and sci-tech progress and has made achievements that has attracted the attentions of the whole world. But we know very clearly that our achievements are attributed to open cooperation. So open cooperation on science and technology, and we are fully aware of its significance. So over the years, we've been committed to such principles as science knows no border and should benefit all humanity. And we have been promoting international cooperation on science and technology in terms of innovation and the sharing of technological results. Up until now, China has established cooperative relations with more than 160 countries and regions on science and technology. Especially, we strengthened cooperation with Global South countries, and we also shared the application of new technologies. We did this to narrow the technology gap and prevent that sci-tech innovation from becoming a game only for the rich countries and rich people. And we have made encouraging progress in this regard. On artificial intelligence, Professor Schwab, I agree with what you said on AI. Artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies, if used well, will undoubtedly provide strong impetus to development. But otherwise, if used unwell, it will be a primary source of risks. China is developing artificial intelligence. When we do this, we attach great importance to strike the right balance between development and security. That means to get the relationship between security and development right. We seek progress while maintaining stability. To ensure that we will not go astray, let me draw an analogy. Just like when you drive a car on a highway, you must first make sure that the brake is functional before stepping on the gas pedal. So, striking the right balance between development and security is of utmost importance. And China is developing AI to promote the intelligent transformation of our economy, to deliver a better life for the 1.4 billion Chinese people, to make them live a modern life. This is our objective, so we will not blindly follow others' practices. We will not engage in excessive competition in this regard. So, the Chinese government is capable of ensuring the sound management of artificial intelligence because we have a very strong institutional system and a monitoring system. And we have a very strong ethics committee. So with all this, we can manage and utilize artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies to the benefit of our people. On the global governance on AI, this is a tough issue. If we allow this reckless competition among countries continue, then we will see a great rhino. What to do about it? I think we need to review the history. For example, our lessons in managing the risks, the nuclear risks, and biological risks and security. And we have accumulated experience. And in this regard, the United Nations and its relevant agencies have played a fantastic role. And we need to learn from this valuable experience. And we stand ready to, under the framework of the United Nations at its core, to actively participate in all the, including all the relevant international organizations and all countries, to discuss the formulation of robust rules to ensure that the AI technology will become a treasure cave found by Alibaba instead of a Pandora's box. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our session, and please join me again thanking Vice Premier Deng for his insights into China's policies.